5, 4, 3, 2.
When you worked in the factory in those days, no one cared about what your name was. They used to say, once you pass the gates of General Motors, forget about the United States Constitution. Workers had no rights when they entered the plant. If a foreman didn't like the way you parted your hair or whatever he didn't like about you, you may have looked at him the wrong way or said something that rubbed him the wrong way. He could fire you. No recourse, no nothing. The workers were getting intimidated because if they didn't comply with what the foreman told them to do, they would lose their jobs and their families would starve. No recourse, as I said. When workers start talking about organizing, managing, hiring leaders to watch the men talk to each other so they could tell if they were talking union. We held meetings in garages and in basements, secret meetings, so that the people wouldn't get caught and beaten up. The first sit-down was on December 30th in the small Fisher body plant 2. Workers were at a point where they had just had enough. They sat down. The UAW leaders in the big Fisher body plant 1 heard about a sit-down in Fisher 2. They sat down also. That took real guts, and it took political leadership. The company decided they had to break the strike. It was very cold, and they turned off the heat in the building. Then the company police and the city police started shooting. The police were using rifles, buckshot, fireballs, and tear gas canisters. It was a shock to a lot of people. We had thought that General Motors would try to free us out, but never opened fire on us right in the middle of the city. Workers overturned police cars to make barricades. They ran to pick up the fire bombs thrown at them and hurled them back at the police. The men wanted to get me out of the way. You know, that I'll protect the woman and children business. I told them, get away from me. Lights went up in my head. I thought, I never use a loudspeaker to address a large crowd of people, but I got to tell them that there are women down here. The first thing I did was attack the police. I called to them, cowards, cowards, shooting into the bellies of unmarried men and fighting the mothers of children. Then everything became quiet. There was silence on both sides of the line, and then I thought, the woman can break this up. So I appealed to the woman in the crowd. Break through those police lines and come down here and stand beside your husbands and your brothers and your uncles and your sweethearts. I could barely see one woman struggling to come forward. A cop had grabbed her by the back and of her coat. She just pulled out of the coat and started walking down to the bell song. As soon as that happened, there were other women and men who followed. So that was the end of the battle. When those spectators came into the center of the battle and the police retreated, there was a big roar of victory. Following the strike, the outer worker became a different human being.
Very good, very good.